Welcome to my adventure trying to save $300 on groceries this year. I know that's not an insanely high number, but it's a number that I feel comfortable with, and I think there's a lot of easy things that I do to save money on groceries that are habits to build, but once you implement them, it can really go a long way. Last year I saved almost $400 on groceries, so I'm hoping this is a goal that I'm going to be able to achieve, and I kind of just want to share the simple tips and tricks that I use that make that a really real reality English. So yes, thankfully there wasn't a lot that I needed, but let's go through my list this week, and I'll actually cover the savings while I'm going through it and then give you guys the totals at the end. I'm gonna go through this the way I go through the store so that you guys kind of get a good idea of how I walk around. So first and foremost, produce. They put it in front so that you think everything that you're buying is healthier because you started the healthy stuff. Bananas this week, I got really lucky. They were 50 cents a pound, which is fairly common for bananas if they're the non-organic. My trouble is always finding bananas that are going to be the right amount of ripeness for what my needs are, because I'm not the kind of person that's going to eat a banana every day. What I realized is everybody's not that kind of person. So there are some weeks where instead of grabbing an entire bushel, I actually just grab a produce bag and I fill up with a couple of bananas that I need. So you'll notice there's like a little section in the bananas that are kind of like loose bananas, no bushel attached to them, and some will be riper, some will be less ripe because they're not all from the same bushel. I love to grab a bag, fill it up with these random bananas, and it kind of gives me the ability to eat them throughout the week. The other thing you can do, and I am normally not somebody who does this because I eat them like straight up, you can put them in the fridge. I personally don't like my bananas that cold, but if you don't eat them often, this is a really great way to save them for a longer period of time. You can also do this with avocados. Refrigerate your avocados. That I do. At 50 cents a pound, and I bought 1.5 pounds of them, I only spent 76 cents on bananas, which is really good because they're a fruit that I do enjoy and I can have very often, both in smoothies and individually. I don't make a lot of smoothies, so it's really convenient when I have a lot of bananas and I can use them up. I got pre-sliced white mushrooms. I normally am not the go for the pre-sliced or anything like that. They were $1.99 for the container of them. I'm normally a don't buy anything that's been prepped for you. So like those little cups of watermelon or the washed grapes in the small cup, you don't need those. I'm very often a get the larger thing, prep it yourself. Why I did this. Regular mushrooms were more expensive than buying the sliced ones, and I also have my meal plan for the week so I know what it is that I intend on making. I only need sliced mushrooms. The other thing that's good is if I don't use these only as sliced mushrooms, I can also throw them in the food processor, grind them down, use them in a ground beef mixture or something like that to extend a meal. Up next on the list was organic baby romaine lettuce. Let's talk about it. I like romaine. I like baby romaine. I know that that's a silly thing to do. Because again of the menu that I intend to eat this week, it was a really good option. I am essentially going to do deconstructed Asian lettuce wraps for one of my days this week. And as opposed to having it as a lettuce wrap, I'm basically going to be having it as a lettuce salad. So because that was the plan, I got the baby romaine instead of buying romaine hearts. Oftentimes I'll buy like a single romaine heart and I'm able to use those outer leaves for lettuce wraps and the inner ones for salad. This week I have a feeling I'm not necessarily going to want to do a whole bunch of variety stuff, so getting the baby romaine was better. Also, I do not buy fresh spinach. I only buy frozen spinach. So if I am going to put something like spinach or something in an omelet, it is generally frozen. So getting the baby romaine was awesome this week because it gives me the opportunity to have something that I can be adding fresh to an omelet or something like that in the morning, which is really nice because I normally only have frozen for stuff like that. So baby romaine lettuce for $2.99. And normally I wouldn't go for something like this because again, packaged greens versus just buying a head of romaine lettuce, like save a lot of money if you just buy the head of romaine. However, I knew one of my deals for this week was going to be a coupon where if you spent $7 or more on produce, you would get $2 back as the coupon. So I was not afraid of getting slightly more expensive lettuce because I knew one of the coupons that I was going to get to use this week was a $2 off on all of the produce that I'm tabulating for you now. Up next, blueberries by the pint. Oh my gosh, I love blueberries. I eat those now instead of having like bad snack kind of things in the middle of the night. I know they're still a carb. I really don't care. I am a midnight snacker. So in the store, they were 2 for $4, the blueberries. However, and I don't know if I was the only person who didn't know this as an adult, you don't have to buy 2 for $4, like to get that 2 for $4 deal. You can get just one of those items and you'll still get your quote 2 for $4 kind of thing. So instead of spending the regular price for them, it was just $2 for one of them. The ratio works out. So 2 of them for $4, 1 of them for $2. You just break it down. And I am really happy about that. I saved $1.50 on my blueberries, and I didn't end up with more blueberries than I needed. Now, what did I do with that $1.50? I decided I needed to have a third fruit. So the only fresh veggies I got were the romaine and the mushrooms, and then everything else for my produce run was fruits for the bananas, the blueberries, and I got a pound of nectarines, which I normally don't do because they are slightly more expensive. But again, the goal was to tally up enough money spent within my produce so that I could be taking advantage of the $2 deal. I knew I was saving a little bit of money on the blueberries because I was getting that 1 for $2 number for paying for them. So what did I do? The nectarines were $3.99. So $3.99 nectarines. I was comfortable with that price, even though my goal is to never spend more than $2.50 on a particular fruit or veggie. Like that is kind of my like, we're hitting a maximum number. Like I generally will only spend about $2.50 per pound. So this put me over that number by almost like doubling it at this point, like a $4 nectarines. Like who do I think I am? But again, saving money on the blueberries, using the deal. I'm very comfortable with my produce number, and this will make sure that I have fresh, wonderful fruits and veggies for the entire week. Very excited. Up next is the regular grocery section. Now, last week I actually did buy myself sushi rice in addition to the regular white rice and brown rice that I have. I think this was a really fun addition. It's incredibly fluffy and much easier to make than I thought that it would be. So I didn't necessarily need a whole lot in the grocery section. I still checked out the coupons though, just to see what was going to be on the list for this week, and I found an incredible deal for something I normally don't get myself because snacks are kind of a treat in my opinion. So what did I get? I got a free can of Pringles. Straight up, free can of Pringles. So I looked at the coupon, thought that I was crazy, checked the terms and conditions. It's literally just a free can of Pringles, which is why I think people should check the coupons more often. You never know what you're gonna find. Then I'm walking through the store, I go to pick up my free can of Pringles. I'm so excited about this. When I look, they had a regular deal going on for 2 cans of Pringles for $5. So similar to what we talked about with the blueberries, 2 for $4 for the blueberries. This was 2 for $5 for the cans of Pringles, which is another reason why it is all the more important to just do a good job of stocking up on fruits and veggies, because if you have them in the house, you can have fruit, you don't have to have Pringles. But I was like, ooh, treat yourself, free can of Pringles. Could have just gotten them on the deal where they would have been $2.50 as opposed to standard retail pricing, but clipping the coupon, I got that 1 can of Pringles completely for free. Like, that's incredible. So it's a treat I normally wouldn't have gotten myself because of the type of container it is. It's something that I know will be stable in my pantry if I choose to not open it immediately, which I probably won't unless I had people coming over. So yeah, really happy, got some Pringles for free, literally. And it's a free can of Pringles without having to do anything else to get them, which is something that's truly free in my opinion. Now, let's talk frozen and dairy. So in frozen and dairy, this is where I was able to do that buy one, get one free deal. This is somewhere that I do recommend getting the 2 instead. So we talked about the blueberries example. I'm always gonna go back to that. The blueberries were 2 for $4 and I only got 1 for $2. It was amazing. This buy one, get one free on cheese was something that I really liked being able to do. So I'm not the girl who's going to food process cheese on a regular basis. I'm very sorry. I won't even do it on Thanksgiving. I'll be honest, I'm that girl. Whatever. I don't shred cheese by myself, so I buy bagged cheese. It's just simpler for my life. When I make a salad, I like to be able to throw it on top. If I make an omelet, throw it on top. I don't want to think about my cheese. I also need my cheese to be shelf stable. Not actually shelf stable, but you know what I mean. I need my cheese to stay in the fridge for however long I forget about my cheese. And I also need to have a variety of cheese. So I was able to do the buy one, get one free. I got the fancy mild cheddar and the mozzarella. Yes, the skim mozzarella. I do buy the reduced skim mozzarella. I think I'm healthy. Every time I do it, I'm allowed to put an extra handful of mozzarella cheese on because I got the skim milk one. You're welcome. That's a life hack. But you will notice if you start reading your receipt more regularly, it does not show up as one of them was full price and the other one was reduced price. Same thing as the blueberries, where you're just going to pay a particular number for both of them. The cheese was originally $2.29, and the buy one get one free took $1.15 off of each bag of cheese. So you essentially are paying not buy one get one free price, just 2 half-priced bags of cheese. Next up is the last deal for the week, the last item that I got this week, and it's actually 2 items. I am on a journey. I'm on a journey. I am basically lactose intolerant. I'm coming to grips with that with myself. I do not like admitting it. And also, I have a gluten sensitivity, and I don't want to talk about it. But I should not have gotten this deal, even though it was something I was very excited about, and I actually enjoyed the fruits of this particular deal literally today. And honestly, I'm not mad about it. Not mad about it. So I decided I was going to buy coffee creamer because it's a treat for me. I basically did not eat dairy the entire month of January. It was really great. No wild movements or anything. But unfortunately, because I wanted creamer, I wanted to get nice creamer. So I decided to check out my coupons, see what was available. International Delights did have a coupon, and their creamers are slightly less expensive, but this is somewhere I decided I wanted to treat myself to slightly nicer creamer. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen them or heard of it, but Chobani actually makes a creamer of their own, and I was able to get 2 of their really nice varieties. I got the white chocolate mocha as well as the sweet cream, and these are 2 things that if I were to go to a coffee shop, it's very often the case that I will get something like these flavors. And I just decided, you know, like I don't want to be spending coffee shop prices on that kind of coffee every time I go out. You know, I work outside of the house at least 1 day every week, so that's 4 out of the house days where I'm probably gonna buy a coffee. Plus my weekends, I always like to start my Saturday with a really nice latte of some sort and get some personal work done. So yeah, I had a feeling that these 8 lattes that I would normally get a month, bare minimum, by the way, like bare minimum. I also like to get an iced coffee when I drive. I like to shake my iced coffee. So I decided I would invest, that's such a blah, but invest in slightly nicer creamer. These were $5 creamers, you guys. And you know how I justified them? They had a 2 creamers. Like if you buy any 2 creamers from them, you get $1 off on the creamer. And I know that that's silly. But essentially what I realized when I did the math, the amount of money that I saved total on the order is basically what I spent on the creamer, which tells me that if I didn't get the creamer, this would have been a much lower cost grocery shopping trip than what I had originally, you know, spent. But yeah, adding the creamer, I did not have to do it, but I live alone right now, and there's just little things that make me happy, and I like a nice coffee. And if somebody's gonna reason it by saying, you could buy a house with all the money you'd save on your little coffee trips every day, then yes, I'm going to buy myself the nice creamer for the coffee that I'm making at home. So $4.99 for creamer with $1 off, and I bought 2 of them. We went from basically $10 for creamer to $9 for creamer. And yes, my final savings for the day, I saved $9.88 total on the order. And that brought my actual number that I paid this week for groceries to $21.43 for all the groceries that I was gonna need. You may have noticed there's no meat shopping. I do all my meat shopping at Costco. There'll be another video about what I get and how I split that up when the time comes, but I'm bulked up on my meats and stuff right now, and I only spent $21 on my weekly groceries, which is absolutely incredible. Year to date savings on what I have saved by grocery shopping with some of these simple things in mind is $41.06. So I am well on my way. We are about at the halfway point for my first $100, and I wanted to be done with that amount by that May time frame. So I'm hoping that by May I'm actually at that $100 time frame, and it gives me the second half of the year to really split up the rest of it. I know in November and December I can save about $100 on groceries because Thanksgiving, Christmas, a girl likes to eat, so I think we're gonna be able to make it so that I can split the next half of the year into 100 and 100 between summer barbecues and my birthday and the holiday season, and basically just use this first half of the year to ramp my way up and get to that first $100 in savings. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you'll continue to join me as I do my, not weekly grocery hauls. I won't bore you guys with this. I may just do a monthly update as well as like highlight a really good grocery shopping day. But this was an amazing day for me to do all of the groceries that I did for nearly 20 bucks. I think I might even challenge myself and see if I can get a week where I'm under $20 on my grocery spending. I would have had a week like that if I didn't buy the fancy creamer, but let's see what we can do, and I hope you'll continue to join me and hopefully participate as well in an amazing grocery shopping journey of your own. Save a little bit of money this year. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!